guys, Deathscyp here from Y.C.G, your casual gamer. And this episode I'm going to show you how to use the ForEachLoop node and also how to make an array using multiple assets inside your level. Don't worry if you haven't been following the videos. The first part is going to be about how the ForEachLoop node works and how to make an array. And then the second part, like always, I'm going to add it to our current level, and the result will be that we're going to activate all the alarm state light at the same time. And this is what it should look like. When you reach inside the level and you go to the trigger box, the door is going to close and all the alarm state light are going to go off. So stay tuned. Alright, the first part is going to be to show you guys how to make the array and how to work with the ForEachLoop. So if you've never done this, you don't need to have anything that I've built over here. So let's get started. The first thing you're going to need is, I'm going to be in my persistent level, very simple. You're going to get 3 cubes out. So just drag in 1 and then Alt drag 2 more. Like that. Very simple. And we're going to need a volume, trigger volume. Okay, it's too many. Let's just go trigger volume. There we go. Now make sure that when you're selected on the trigger volume, you're going to go open your level blueprint. And now we're going to make an event, add event on begin overlap. And from here, let's just create ForEachLoop. We're just going to create everything that we're going to talk about. And then after that, we're going to talk about it. ForEachLoop with break. They don't need to be collected. Alt click to break the connection. And now we're going to need the reference to our cubes. Now, what I want to do with my make array is I want to change the color of each cube inside the blueprint, not inside the level. That's very easy to do. So now, first thing is going to do, I'm going to need a reference to the 3. So I'm going to go and control click each of them. Go inside the level blueprint and right click, and you're going to be able to create a reference. A little bit like the trigger volume. You click on it and then you can make a reference out of it. Now, what I want to do is, before we talk about this, I want to create a dynamic material instance. And this is going to allow me to get the static mesh component and change an element of the static mesh to my desired material. Now, what does that mean? The element index is, when you click on the static mesh, is right over here. You see over here, the element 0 is your basic material that you have over here. Let's say I drag in my little mesh over here. This one has 3 elements. So you see element 0, 1, and 2. Let's get rid of this. So now you understand that when you want to do a create dynamic material instance, you decide which element you're going to change the material for. So let's say I want to go and just grab whatever you have on there. I'm going to choose red. Now if I wanted to do that for the 3 of them, if I drag this and connect it here, it's not going to work. And if I drag this one and I connect it there, it's not going to work either. It's going to connect it, but it's going to disconnect the other one. And that's not what you want. You want all 3 of them to change at the same time. So if I wanted to do it this way, I would have to do Control C, Control V, and then how many times you have of cubes. And let's say you have 40 cubes or like 20 cubes. It's going to take you wherever. It's going to be a huge ass program just to change the color of a cube. It's ridiculous. And that's where the ForEachLoop comes into play. What the ForEachLoop does is, first of all, it works with arrays. What is an array? An array node is whenever you make a variable, say it's a boolean, and you change it to, you click on the little array over here, compile to see what you have, you're going to be able to add other elements and array elements inside your array. But that's not what we're going to do. We're going to make an array. Because you could use a variable and just connect it here as an array, and it's going to work for the same way. But I want to make an array with my static mesh. So let's do that. Make array. That's simple. I can just add the pin for how many cubes I have. If you have 20 of them, you could have done 20 pins. And then there you have the little pin over here that just converted all those 3 inside an array. And then you can connect it here or here if you want to. I'm going to connect to the ForEachLoop. The difference between the for each loop and the for each loop with break is only, well, you see it right away. It's the break part. But I'm going to tell you why and what it does. So the for each loop, what it's going to do is it's going to grab the array, and it's gonna know how many index it has, and so it's gonna know how many times it does the loop. So the first loop will be the index 0, array index 0, and then it's gonna do the loop, and then it's gonna go again and check for 1 and 2. So let's say I want now to change I want to do from here, create dynamic material instance, but now that I connected it to here, the array element is now the same thing. So if I drag from here, I can create, dynamic material instance, and it's that easy. And now what it's going to do, if I connect the loop body, so the body of the array elements, it's going to loop all these, and now I choose over here my color, let's say red. So it's going to loop once for the index 0, and then index 1, index 2. So if I compile and save right now, let's just do it. I go inside the level, go inside unlit mode. Whoops. I started inside the level, the trigger volume, that's why it did that. If I go inside, you're going to see they all turn red, which means my program works. Now what's nice also is that I could isolate one index away. So let's say I want the first one, when it gets to index 1, I'm going to create a condition here. I'm going to create equal to 1. And I'm going to Alt B, left click to make a branch, connect these two together, and connect the loop body to this. And now I'm going to Control C this, Control V, and connect this to the array element. And if I wanted to isolate the first index, and let's say I wanted to do another color and make it green, or whatever color you have inside your, I just choose green like this. This is what I have in my content browser. It could have been any starter content material. Now it would check, it would go through 0. It checks over here the condition. Is it equal to 1? No. Then it goes to red. It goes to 1. It equals to 1. Yes. Then it goes to green. And then so on and so forth. So now if I go inside the level, you're going to notice something different. The middle one became green. Again, I started inside the level. Sorry. It's because the character's too fat. Touches everything. And there you go. Now it triggered the middle, the index 1, to be green. And that's how awesome the for each loop work. If you add it could work with blueprints, and you could isolate one out of there. Now the for each loop with break is something you have to have an event that works with that. Let's say every time it went inside the loop, there'd be a delay of 10 seconds before it re-triggers the loop, and then it would I don't know, start a fire every time it goes through the loop body. And then whenever the player reaches a certain point in your level, the fire stops spreading. That's when the trigger of the where the player gets would trigger the break. Therefore, the loop would stop going. But that's not our case over here, so we don't need the for each loop with break. Now, make sure that when you're done with this, to carry out the rest of the program from here, print string. Okay, let's say I'm going to do continue program here. And the reason I mean this is because if you put this, Control C, Control V, if you put it here in the loop body, then it's going to do what? It's going to carry out the event 3 times. It's going to carry it out the number of array elements you have, which is 3 in our case. And if you had 20, it would carry out your program 20 times after. So make sure not to do that mistake. I did it in the past, and you're going to see right away if I take this out, I alt click to break the link, and I go inside the level, make sure not to be there. I'm going to, if I go here, you're going to see continue triggers 3 times on the left. And if I go over here, and then I connect this over here, whoop, that breaks this, right? And now it would just trigger it once. Continue only fires once, and that's what you want. So hope that helps you guys. This is how the Make Array and the ForEachLoop node works. Now, for those of you that are following my episode, let's add it to our scene. We actually don't need anything of this, so we can just get rid of it like that. I know it seems like it's lost of time, but it's actually a great way to work, a great way to show you guys the basic of how it works first. And if you really want to keep it, you can keep it and move it to the side. But I don't need it, so I'm just going to get rid of it. And even those ones, we're going to control click all of them and get rid of them. And now make sure you're inside the factory 2-2, and let's go grab our trigger volume. I actually put it aside just so I could show you guys how to do. If you still at it, no problem. And now we're going to trigger, so using this method, we're going to grab the 6 light we have inside. Well, how many lights you have? For me it's 6. Take all the lights you have and you want to trigger the alarm state with. You're going to go inside the level blueprint. Whoops, not this one. The level blueprint for the 2-2. We're going to right click, make array. If you would try to go inside the wrong level with the wrong level blueprint, right away you're going to notice something that's not going to work. I'm going to right click and try to look for my reference, and it's not going to be there. So that's how you know right away if you're not in the right selected level with your asset selected. You're not going to be able to make a reference. So now let's make the array and add as many pins as you need. And just connect them. I wish there was an easier way to just connect them all together. I had this event with like 25 lights that I had to change, and it was brutal to just like connect all of them together. If there is one, please share. I would love to know how to make this really quick. So for each loop, connect the array, and the array element is going to be the alarm on. And it's that simple. So now your program is going to carry out. It's going to play the sound for the door, close the door, unload the first part of the level, and then the alarms are going to trigger. So you guessed it, if I follow my program after, I'm going to have to go to the complete node. Let's test it out, see if it works. Jump inside play. I'm going to walk backward just so that we see the door close. Door closes and the alarm goes on. Alright, so I hope you enjoy this, guys. That's it for today. In the next episode, we're going to be working on either the door over here, or I'm going to start working on the timer. I'm not too sure yet, but that's the beauty. Every day is a new day. So see you next time. Have a great day.